Hey guys, it's Wine Wednesday, and we are doing something very, very Canadian, which is we are tasting wines from Blue Grouse on Vancouver Island. I know a lot of people don't even know that there's world-class wine being made on Vancouver Island, but there is truly world-class. And
There
we've actually got the
sure is.
winemaker in the green room to join us for a fun chat. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher, everyone across the country. Happy Wednesday night. It's Wine Wednesday. It's time to sit back. It's time to fill your glass, pop a nice bottle of Canadian wine. Join us, relax. We're going to have a ton of fun. Mira, how's it going?
Going really well, going well. Ah, Mike, the average wine enthusiast, is on. Great to see you, Mike.
I mean, I feel like we would need a 2.5 hour show tonight. I feel that's so much to say, so much to tell. We've been brainstorming, you and me, nonstop, and there's so much coming in the pipeline. We have resolved a bunch of issues. No, I mean, we have a lot of answers to our members from on multiple front, and this is a very exciting show. Really exciting show. I didn't fix my my phone stand, so maybe my head is kind of cut off, but who cares? We have an exciting guest joining us today. It's really thrilling. And we have a contest a kind of contest that we've never done before. We have some world-class island wines in our glass, and we're going to talk some amazing Pinots. So Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir. We're going to talk about sparkling, but we're going to talk about a unique terroir, an emerging region in our country that it's worth talking about. So I hope we are all ready. But before we start talking about the Vancouver Island and specifically the Cowichan Valley, I want to know, where are you tuning in from? What is in your glass? What did you pop tonight? Which kind of Canadian wines are you serving your spouse? Which kind of Canadian wines are you having in your glass today? Because we also have some pictures from last Saturday, Mira's 40th bash, and a ton of Chardonnays that I was expecting a international Chardonnay fest. Darn right, every guest, they all brought only Canadian wines. So, yeah. So, Mira, what do you feel today?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, really great. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's been a very busy last week. For those of you that know us, we were in New York, we were in New Jersey, we got back, and then there's been like 4 different things happening event-wise. Stacy and Jeff from Ontario visited us with Rob and Michelle from Black Market at the restaurant at De Silva, just as an example. So really amazing experiences. We got to share. I'm just getting up the pictures of the lobster, you guys, just to show you what I'm talking about here.
Well, I got a bunch of questions from across the country, and like Mira's the superstar, right? And so I got these like dozens and dozens of messages. Carl, better treat Mira well this weekend. Carl, better spoil your partner, Carl. And I'm like, I can't wait to show you guys our pictures, because I think that we had a heck of a party, and that was absolutely freaking awesome. And we had an incredible feast.
It sure was amazing.
So I know if you've been following us for a long time, I mean, you know how much Mira loves lobster. And she loves lobster. Our kids now are freaking requesting lobster on a Monday night. I mean, it's painful, but It was so much fun. I found an incredible company in Nova Scotia that shipped lobster overnight, and we got 24 lobsters who were caught on Thursday afternoon near the Big Fundy in Nova Scotia. Caught at around 3 o'clock. 5 o'clock, the lobster were at FedEx office on Thursday. They were in Kelowna, British Columbia at 9:30 a.m. on Friday morning. And by the time that it was 1 p.m., the lobster were here in Summerland, alive, rocking, and we started the prep with the chef who lived nearby, our 16-year-old son who's passionate about food in cuisine now, helping chef, and we had an incredible birthday bash. We had family from all over. Mira, some of Mira's best friends joined from all over the province, so it was pretty cool, and we tasted some incredible wines. I mean, there's some wines in front of me, like 2015 Checkmate. One of my very favorite was the Bellaterra 2018 Blanc de Blanc Sparkling, was absolutely off the freaking chart. The De Silva 2018, absolutely singing right now, was one of the very best. My friend Rob Amersley, owner of Black Market, brought the Giant Steps, which is a Yarra Valley from Australia Chardonnay from the 21 vintage, was one of the stars of the show as well. I mean, we had so many great Chardonnays on Saturday night. It was fantastic. I'm sorry. Yeah. So,
Oh, what? Sprucewood Shores. Tracy says Sprucewood Shores Sauvignon Blanc in my glass. Cool. That's an Ontario winery, I think. Hey.
Sprucewood Shore. That's the one. That's the one who from that emerging region, like from Essex County, I believe. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, because they were recently. These guys went to North Shore, I think. You guys
I have
did
some here. We have some Sprucewood Shore here. The Merlot that we tasted a year ago was absolutely fantastic.
There you go. There you go. Because they did a road trip to Lens. So now when we go, you guys have to be our guides because it sounded like a great road trip. 21 Black Market Bacchus in your glass tonight, Mike. That sounds awesome. I mean, there's very few people in Canada that make Bacchus, and I think Black Market, in my opinion, is like a staple, like not a like what is it, a benchmark for Bacchus in Canada.
Yeah, Chaberton. I mean, I think there's like couple benchmark, and for us, Black Market, absolutely no doubt, Mira. There's Chaberton Estate in the Fraser Valley, who kind of were the first one to make Bacchus in a larger scale. But don't forget that the island is one of a hot spot for Bacchus. So our winery, and we're going to chat with Stacy in 1 minute. I can't let her sit there much longer. I have so many questions for her. But Blue Grouse produce a Bacchus. We have a Bacchus in the feature this week. I haven't tasted it, unfortunately. When we were there, it was not bottled yet. And it just got, like, it's ready now. And I want to ask Stacy to tell us about the Bacchus because there's no score attached to that wine. Very rarely we feature a wine not scored, but I have confidence that Stacy at Blue Grouse has made a fantastic Bacchus. So, Mira, without waiting longer, should we bring her in?
Yes, we totally should, and we'll share some more exciting things about the golden ticket after we chat with Stacy.
The golden ticket, the lobster party, the August 23rd. Canada Burgundy Showdown. We have a ton to talk about after, okay?
Yes. So stay tuned. So Stacy Horniman from Blue Grouse Estate Winery in the Cowichan Valley. It's so nice to see you, Stacy.
Thanks for having me.
Doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Great. Are you at Blue Grouse right now?
I am. I'm in the little, I call it the dungeon, but it's the office and the cellar and the lab, just finishing up, eating some candy and finishing up some blending.
Okay, now you're getting my attention, Stacy. Okay, now eating candy.
Oh yeah.
World-class winemaker sitting in the office doing some testing here, maybe a little taste of barrel here and there. Which kind of candy are you going for?
Just like mixed gummy candy. It seems to be very popular with the staff here. So sometimes I have visitors that actually need something from me, and sometimes they just need to hit the candy jar.
I love it. Absolutely love it. You know what? I'm a sucker for sour candy. And you know what? It just stimulates your taste bud. Boom. The acid just bring it up. It's like a nice, bright, crisp, acidic wine, right?
Oh, exactly. Like all acid all the time on the candy and the wine.
That's it. I mean, you move from a place where acid sometimes can be a problem from all the way in a place where natural acid is not an issue at any time. So you're from the state, you work with Stone Street for a long time. So you're from the Jackson family. I mean, you grew through the company. They moved you down here in Canada. Tell us a little bit about your story since the Jackson family purchased Blue Grouse in 2022. And how did you end up here, and how do you enjoy Vancouver Island?
Good question. So I didn't even know that they grew grapes on Vancouver Island for wine in December of 2023. The internal emails come out about like, an exciting acquisition, and Unsworth was a couple years before, and then another acquisition in 2022. I love aromatic white wines, and it sounds like and looks like some of your viewership also likes them, with Sauvignon Blanc and Bacchus in the glass. So sounds like we're in good company. And I really like sparkling wine, and I think that Vancouver Island is going to be pretty sought after for sparkling wine in not too long.
You're totally right. You're totally right. And was it something that you wanted to come here, or like more of the company said, Stacy, this is your new gig, pack your stuff, you go up north, and we'll chat later? How did that happen?
Well, it wasn't quite like that. It was more like, hey, there's this opportunity up north. Would you like to go like check it out? And so I came up in January of 2024.
Okay.
Flipping cold.
January 2024, Stacey, that's where here in the Okanagan, where I'm sitting, that everything shut down and it absolutely destroyed the entire harvest.
Such a bummer. Like just such a bummer. But according to the Canadians on Vancouver Island, it usually doesn't get this cold, or didn't get that cold, which it didn't. But anyway, I came up, met the team here, and tasted the wines and thought, oh, wow, I think I would like to do this. And
that's awesome. And do you know, like, what did lead the Jackson family? First, they went to acquire Unsworth, which is another pioneer on Vancouver Island. And after that, to go after Blue Grouse. Did they see something special on the terroir? Were you aware of like the long-term strategy of the company? Because now when you purchase two of the pioneer estates in one emerging region, there's definitely something that the research has, that the people at the high up in the company have seen in terms of potential.
Totally. So part of the conversation in the wine world everywhere, and some of the devastating hailstorms in Europe, is changing climate, right? And so they're looking to the future of, where can we go that's perhaps somewhat marginal or trending out of marginal to be able to grow wine well into future generations of their family. They have many different estates all over the world, not just California and Oregon. They're making wine in Washington now, South Africa, Australia, Giant Steps, Italy, France.
Did you just say Giant Steps? It's you guys? That is too funny. Too funny.
And they make some badass wines, like Giant Steps. Their Chardonnay, some of my favorite. It's just.
We had it on Saturday. That's what we were tasting for Mira's birthday on Saturday. I didn't even know that was you guys. Oh, that's awesome.
That's also a testament to how well they do it. Like they want the regions and the wineries to play to their strengths, right? and to put their best foot forward. I never thought I would want to work for a large wine company, but I have worked for them for almost 8 years now, and I can't imagine working anywhere else.
So what stands out for you on Vancouver Island? What is the biggest attribute that you see in terms of emerging region?
I think like you nailed it though with the acidity comment. Natural acidity is something that is fleeting in warmer regions. People are like, oh, it comes in a bag. Well, it doesn't taste good when it comes out of a bag, and you can tell that it has come out of a bag. I also think some of these Germanic crosses are really interesting. The Sigarebes, the Bacchuses of the world, the Ortegas. It's kind of a tangled web of genealogy, but they're really interesting, and they're kind of the wines that I like to drink. So it's not a bummer to go to work every day.
No, it's surely not, because like Mira and like all of these cross and like all the way like always like originating from Rieslings and like these very Germanic type. I mean, these are aromatic, natural acidity. And when you look at it, I mean, I'm looking at the history of the Blue Grouse vineyard, right? All the way back to the 1982, 1983 with the Duncan Project,
Yep.
and 85 with the 100 varietals who were planted on the site. Like, I mean, there's so much history in that very piece of land. And for you to come from California and like, to establish yourself on a piece of land with so much history, it must be really cool to discover all of these new different things that you can work with.
Oh, it's like a shiny new toy. Like I've never seen Sigarebe before. I'd never seen Ortega before. I'd never seen Bacchus before. Heard about it, especially Bacchus in the UK. But yeah, it was like, oh my God, this is like shiny and fun and new. And I just, try some different things and figure out what people like about them and try and bring out those attributes. And I really enjoy it.
And I mean, they lead me to talk about like the people who see our emerging region more as like the Germanic type of varietal or as hybrid. But I mean, to me, what stands out on Vancouver Island compared like a little different when you look at Nova Scotia on the other side, where definitely the hybrids are leading the pack outside of when you look outside of the sparkling wine. But on Vancouver Island, it's a different story. You look at Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Gris. These noble varietals are absolutely shining, and I'm looking to this kind of area for the future. And we have some old vines in Vancouver Island. We have old vines on the property where you are at Blue Grouse with these noble varietals.
Oh, we have some of the oldest Pinot Gris vines in BC, which is incredible. Planted in 1990 on own roots by the founder Hans Kiltz. He took the learnings of the Duncan Project and really leaned into Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir, Sigarebe, Bacchus, and Ortega. And we still have those vines. They're still cranking out some fantastic blends. And they're just really fun to work with.
Now, let's talk about, we'll spend some time on Pinot Noir, because I really think it's the future. To my opinion, Vancouver Island can become the very hotbed of Pinot Noir, a little bit like Oregon became 10, 15 years ago. And I think it's moving towards Vancouver Island. The potential is absolutely insane. Let's talk Charme de l'Île first, because I love those regional appellation. I was an early adopter of Tidal Bay appellation in Nova Scotia. I think like seeing these communal project like that, where all wineries are doing the same style of wine, in terms of rising the reputation of a region in general, I love that. Can you tell us about Charme de l'Île? What is the component? What do you need to do to be part of the classification? Because we have two here. So what's the rules?
So the rules are, all the grapes need to be sourced from Vancouver Island. And then the second rule is that it has to be made in the Charmat method, or the tank method of sparkling wine production. So traditional method, that second fermentation is happening in the bottle. For Charmat method, it's happening in a pressurized tank. So it's not forced carbonated. There is a secondary fermentation that happens. So I just want to make that clear because that's sometimes a misconception.
Yes, it is. It is. Some people will sometimes make a little mistake in between the understanding of the two, right?
Yeah, and then they envision like this massive soda stream in the cellar, and you're like, no. Anyway, so those are the rules, and there's not very many rules, and there's so many interesting varieties here. Those two wines that you have, the rosé is 100% Gamay Noir, and the white is a blend of aromatic varieties from Sigarebe to
Schonberger, Sigarebe. There's also, I think, Chardonnay and Pinot Gris in there as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Whatever makes the blend work. It's very aromatic. It almost jumps out of the glass, and the rosé is a little bit more broody and a little bit more rustic, I would say.
Definitely, Russ. And I think for me, the rosé was definitely a standout. And I first encountered the rosé when Michael was kind enough to host us at the winery. We missed you that weekend. You were away. But we spent 3 nights there. First and foremost, it's an incredible property. The guest house is off the freaking chart. Like we're joking. We sent an email to our members today saying, when we got there, we were planning to go touring. Like we were planning to have like 5 or 6 visits around the Cowichan Valley. We didn't left the property. Literally, we didn't left the property. It was just too beautiful, too awesome. But when we arrived, Mira was unpacking, and I went to the tasting room, and that's the bottle that I grabbed. That's the first one. I came back, and we had a charcuterie platter, and we put the kids were playing. We sat down in front of the beautiful big window facing the vineyard, and I pour a glass of that, and I look at Mira, I was like, holy smokes. This wine with charcuterie, it's heaven. Holy smokes. The structure of that wine, there's a little bit of sweetness, natural sweetness, like red cherry, maraschino cherry, but there's a earthiness on the back end, a bright acidity. I give it a 92 point. I fell in love with that bottle.
Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, we call it the Grouse House. But I call it the Vineyard Palace because I feel like you're just sort of perched up there and you really get a view of the vineyard, but also the Cowichan Valley. Bird watchers love sitting in there, and it's a great place to have charcuterie and a glass of wine and put your feet up and take a minute and just sip and enjoy.
Our kids turned the house into a mini stick arena pretty quickly when we got there. We're truly Canadian boys, right? So anyway, everything turns out into a mini stick arena. But while we were sipping on that one, what is the percentage? What is the importance of Gamay Noir in your portfolio? Is it something small, or you're looking forward to increase it, or is it just something that you play with once in a while?
We definitely have some. So we have some older vine Gamay that I think our founder was sort of playing with to make red Gamay. It's going to be part of our rosé program, our Charme de Lille rosé program, as well as making a red Gamay in the right year. So still ripening it and getting it to a point where it's like there isn't a question of whether it's a rosé or a red wine.
Is it Gamay? Is it something that you work with in the States ever, or no?
Nope. You don't really find it. Not that you don't look for it, but it's always interesting if somebody's got more of a esoteric wine or something a little bit more unique. But no, I did not have a lot of experience with it. It's I feel like I said rustic earlier, but it's a little bit more broody than a Pinot Noir. That's how I would describe it.
I like to say, to me, when I break it down to its core, it's a little bit more raw, a little bit more animal, a little bit more. I like the raw kind of thing. There's a little spice on the back end as well that you don't find in a Pinot. I like the personality. And our viewers are lots of our members from back east. There's a ton of Gamays in Niagara. It's a grape that is very sought after. We have some producers in Niagara who do single vineyard Gamay, a little bit like the Beaujolais Cru. So it's something that they're looking forward to. But this one was one of my favorite. Now let's move on to Mira's favorite. Mira fell in love with the
good.
game.
You got the
I mean,
rosé. Good.
I mean, that rosé is to my opinion, is one of the best rosé of the 24 vintage. 20, like we talk in the opening, right? 24 vintage for our producer here in the Okanagan. It's very challenging. So most of them went down south, Washington State, Oregon, to source some grapes because we had none. So that was a survival mode here. And some of our producer had some contract with the Fraser Valley, also with the island. I saw some great collaboration, but now it's so refreshing to get some BC grapes in a 24 vintage, and that rosé hit the spot because first and foremost, the color. I like that beautiful light salmony color, a little bit like Provençal style, but the palate, there's some texture to it, but the structure. There you go. When we talk about acid, this is what I'm talking about here.
That is a zippy wine, like blending it and tasting it and having other people taste it. The first words out of my mouth were, do you think it's too acidic? Do you think it's too acidic? And the answer was no, most of the time, just because it was balanced structurally. And when you have alcohols that are this low, you really have to play to your structure. We also dabbled with a bit of fermentation and aging in concrete. So I think that helped sort of tie everything together, partial malolactic fermentation, just to sort of offer some intrigue with the different acids that are present. But I'm pretty happy with it. It's really juicy. Had it with, what do we have it with? Some Thai food the other night. And it was really good.
Absolutely. Mira, do you recall which food pairing that I put for the rosé?
I can tell you. Let's see here.
Because she literally like bugged me like this is our favorite rosé of the vintage, like absolutely off the chart. I think did I say something like tuna tartare or
sounds good.
Oh, I think you might have. Yeah. So let's see. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for anyone that wants to see the tasting notes. But let me just click on. Okay, so you're talking about the rosé, not the rosé bubbly, right?
No, not the Champ de Lille. The Champ de Lille, 100% gamay. It's all about charcuterie. We all got it through that.
The rosé we give 92 points for that. I was like, this is amazing. You said salmon tartare and seared scallops.
Yum. Salmon for sure would play well.
Yeah, can you hear what's happening behind me right now?
No, we can't hear it in the screen.
Oh, the thunder! Like there was like crazy lightning, just like jumping, like the thunder, just absolutely like boom right behind me. Woo.
Yeah. So I think with that rosé, I mean, of course, it reminds me of my very all-time favorite rosé, which is grown a few blocks from our house here in Summerland. It's the Tractor and Vines Pinot Noir rosé.
7-0
93, 94 points. This is 92. This is one of your highest rated ever rosés. Carl does not often go high ratings on rosés, which
yay.
It's just one of those things. I don't know, but that is a very, very delicious rosé. And yeah, I agree, especially with the scallops, Carl. Butter scallops with that rosé. Oh my God.
You need the butter to cut through the acid for sure. But
that just cut through right to the buttery flavor. I mean, like that's an absolute beauty. Pinot Noir base, correct?
Yeah, driven by Pinot Noir.
Driven by Pinot Noir.
Little Gris and a little bit of Chardonnay. It's funny when you talk about rosé, it doesn't have to be one variety, so you really get to play around with what you have and make a lovely blend that can be pretty well balanced. But yeah, that's just sort of what took shape this vintage.
How many cases of that rosé do you produce?
I think we made about 850 last year for 20.
Okay, wow. And for when you talk about rosé, do you do? Is it 100% estate fruit, or you? Because I know that you have a few contracts with growers around on Vancouver Island, just all in the Cowichan Valley. Is your rosés 100% estate, or you're sourcing a little bit for the rosé?
We're using our own vineyards and sourcing. So it's a blend of the Cowichan. It's warmer sites up in the north, cooler sites down further south, and then from our estate sort of smack in the middle. So it's a good representation. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's one of our favorite. Let's talk about, we need to talk about Bacchus. Because First and foremost, I haven't tried it, and I'm dying to know more. One of our best friends, one of our rock star winery that our members have discovered when we started the club in 2020, Black Market Wine Company. Rob has a Bacchus, I think it's an acre and a half of Bacchus here in Toledo in the central Okanagan. And his Bacchus became almost cult here in the Okanagan. He produced like 100 cases every year, and that's the wine is almost when the tasting room opened, people want to have the new Bacchus release. Now, is your Bacchus is on the sweeter side? Is your Bacchus a little bit like Chaberton does on the Fraser Valley? Are you more of a bone dry style of Bacchus? What is your philosophy when you go in the wine facility and make your Bacchus?
So great question, because I've had the Chambertin, but I haven't had the Black Market, and I haven't drank a whole lot of Bacchus to begin with. But coming in and tasting some of the local Bacchuses, it reminded me a lot of Sauvignon Blanc in the way that it's got like lots of stone fruit and really zippy acidity. And I love Sauvignon Blanc, so I sort of treated it like I have treated Sauvignon Blanc in the past. Did some barrel fermentation and puncheon fermentation and some stainless steel fermentation, mostly just to try a few different yeasts to see what was going to give me the aromas that I was looking for. To answer your question, it is bone dry and it is zippy as hell. Like, it is very acidic, perhaps too acidic, but I totally dig it. It makes your mouth water. But it's got all those stone fruit elements, as well as a little sort of salinity or cheese rindy sort of funk to it, which I really like as well. It adds another level of interest.
And usually that floral note on the nose, like, do you get that as well when you swirl your glass? That little floral component.
It's funny when you ferment in a bunch of different vessels, even if it's the same yeast, it could be something very different. And the stainless steel portion smelled like elderberry, like elderflower, like straight up. And I was like, oh, is this like my favorite tonic water, or is this Bacchus? Right. So, and then the puncheon sort of took on more of a stone fruitiness. And there's this interesting floral note. I think it's elderflower, but I got to smell an elderflower to double check. But I don't know. It's all of these aromatic whites are so interesting, and kind of like how you eat with your eyes before you put it in your mouth. I feel like you eat with your nose before you put it in your mouth. And if it's interesting on the nose, I feel like you're more inclined to put it in your mouth and drink it and enjoy it.
And I think Bacchus is one of the quintessential aromatic. There's so much going on the nose. And I love the fact that you fermented in different vessel to play with texture. I know that Mira is a big fan of Bacchus. Every year we try to always try to different stuff. I know that Zach Brown at Alderley as well on the island does Bacchus. And there's a few others. So I'm glad that we were able to get like 5 cases for the members. So just so our members know, these are very limited amount of Bacchus available. The Pinot Gris Reserve and the Bacchus, there's only 5 cases available. So let's make sure that the count is on, Miriam, so we don't oversell. And I don't get a phone call from Stacey in a couple of days say, hey guys, we're overselling here. So
no, the Bacchus also is from one of the I call them the OG plantings, the original gangster plantings of Hans Kiltz. So planted in 1990, there's just a minerality to it that is I don't know, unlike anything I've tasted before.
Yeah, no, very unique. Mira, what's in Bacchus that really attracts you? Because I recall you, Michelle, and Karen always have like that conversation about the Bacchus and the Jim's block. Tell us a bit more about your attractive.
I think it's like that similar like flavorings as you get in Sauv Blanc, Chenin Blanc. Mike's just saying like reminds him of Chenin Blanc too. And so, you know, if you like those wines, then you'll probably like Bacchus. But what I like about Bacchus is it's so rare. So it's just kind of a fun thing, you know, like if you were to, it's kind of like to me, it's a little bit like Pinot Meunier, where it's really rare. So it's really fun to find one and taste it and throw it in a blind tasting if you can or something, because it's unlikely people will guess Bacchus, right? So it's a good one that way.
No, there's always
Um,
an extra point for if someone on blind taste call me on Bacchus right out of the gate. I said my first reaction is you fucking cheated.
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on if you haven't had a lot of it. It's super interesting to
I
try.
know, eh? I know. So from Bacchus to the reserve, the Pinot Gris Reserve, which I think there's the Pinot Gris Reserve 23 vintage. To my opinion, drinks more like a Chardonnay than drinks like a Pinot Gris. That's
Totally.
when I smell it. Second, when I tasted it, that was my first reaction to Michael Abbott at the tasting room. I said, "Huh, this wine tasted like not taste in terms of flavor profile, but taste as a complexity and layering. I think it shows like a Chardonnay."
Yeah, it's definitely so 23 was a warmer vintage, so you have a little bit more riper flavors and aromas. They also used a bit of not new oak, but sort of second or third fill oak, which adds this richness to it and
Yeah.
to the palate, but also on the nose. But I would agree that it definitely drinks more like a Chardonnay.
Yeah, I mean, there's that seriousness without the pretension, because Pinot Gris tend to be fun at its core, but it's not that fruit salad type of Pinot Gris. There's that woodiness. There's also a salinity. There's that richness on the mid palate without being heavy. I mean, this Pinot Gris has everything that you can expect, and just like you mentioned, being from a warmer vintage, that's that little tropical note which blend into the whole structure so well and bring extra richness, and absolutely off the freaking chart.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's the first Pinot Gris Reserve Blue Grouse has ever bottled. So very excited to have that be enjoyed by lots of folks. It's a really rich style, but very tasty, and it goes really well with seafood. I feel like all of our wines go well with seafood, which is a great.
And you know what? Also goes well with white meat. I got that with the pork chops.
Ooh, yum.
This has the chop. You get it? Has the chop to sustain these kind of meal. This is, like I said, structure. There's the oak. There's everything. So this is a very serious Pinot Gris without being pretentious. So for people who like to discover a next level of what we're tempted to, especially from British Columbia, that Pinot Gris is the summer tropical fruit salad type of patio type of wine. This is more of the dinner table style of wine of that Reserve Pinot Gris. And for you guys to call it the
I loved it. I loved it. It's probably my all-time favorite Pinot Gris. But yeah, what were you going to say? For them to call it Reserve.
Oh, the Reserve. So what was like now you probably put some parameter in place that say, hey, now that's become the Reserve line. Here is what you need. It's all about the vintage. Like you're looking at like a little like what are you looking for specifically?
It's gotta be complete, right? So we're sourcing that wine specifically like from actually a number of the other vineyards that we talked about with the rosé, which makes it a great representation of the Cowichan Valley. But we only will do it in the right year. If it's not the right year and we're not able to blend something that's anything less than amazing, it's not going to happen. We're just not going to make one.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, like, yeah, the classic strategy that if it's not the best of the best, and do you go from different plot, or you bring the Pinot Gris, you separate it in different vessel, and after you go vessel to vessel and decide which barrel with concrete eggs or whatever you bring together, or you identify the plot in the vineyard first and you bring it specifically for that wine? What's the strategy here?
A great question. So because of my very limited tenure year, I'm just treating everything like it could be a reserve wine, right? And like, all right, if I had to bottle this specific block of Pinot Gris from our estate, how would I need to ferment it? What would I ferment it in? So what you wind up with is like a kind of a crazy number of different lots, right? Keeping things separate, doing things in different oak or different vessels. But it's the only way to really learn about where you're gonna like pick out your pearls out in the vineyard.
Yeah, that's mapping your own sub-terroir one vintage at a time, right?
Exactly. And so maybe over time I can, think like, oh, okay, well, this old vine Pinot Gris that we have should be fermented in puncheon. It's happiest in puncheon, and it produces a beautiful texture in puncheon, but it doesn't need to go through mallow, and all these other sort of little parameters that you learn over time. But that particular wine was just put together from some finished blends. So the stars aligned in that way, and it was an incredible growing season. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. Very rich, though, compared to some of the other BC Pinot Gris I've tried. So I wasn't sure how it would be received, but I think it's so far so good.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my God. And I was looking at it. I think Anthony Gismondi gave it 91 point, and Tony doesn't give too many candy points around. I mean, he's pretty stingy on his score. And when I saw that, I'm like, holy smokes, it means a lot. Usually, like the 91 from Tony, I gave it a 92 points personally, but that's mean. With Tony gave a 91, you know that this wine is an absolute rock star. And Mira and I completely agree. Mira told me multiple times, this is the best Pinot Gris I've ever tasted. So yeah,
If you don't know, I'm not like a professional wine drinker. I mean, I could be because I have tasted a lot of wines. But I just go with like, what do I like? And I'm like, oh, if I had to choose out of X many Pinot Gris, I'll always go for that Reserve Pinot Gris. I love that. It's so complex. It's so interesting. And it could go with a lot of food too. And yeah, really.
I appreciate
really
it.
Nice.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, what should I be drinking? And I always say, like, what you like.
Yeah.
Find out what you like and drink that. And don't stop trying things too, because you might find something that you like more.
That's it. I love that. And like with Grouse, but that's funny because we're a Masom. Yes, we have, like, I have all of that credential. I learned who gave me the passion for wine education. It's Gary Vaynerchuk. I fell in love with the wine library at the very beginning when Vaynerchuk was spitting in his New York Jets helmet or in the bucket. And it was just tasting these. I remember him tasting 100 Acres and just talking about it like if it was an old car. And like, I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of Psalms with the little fingers who feels like they're just building their own language between each other. And like they make it on purpose that no one else can fucking understand what they're saying. And Vaynerchuk was the first one that was like, there you go. That's the one I want to be. And that's how we treated the club since we started. I taste 1,500 Canadian wines every year, but we want people to relate on what we're doing. It's not a contest of pretentiousness. It's just about what we love. And Mira make it famous. It's her shape dance. Sometimes she emulates the dance of how she feel about a wine. Oh, this wine is like, ooh. And the members will...
They have like a shape, all the wines. Yeah.
Totally. There's all sorts of things like that. Like there was a winemaker down on the central coast of California that would do drawings, and they sort of look like abstract pieces of art. But I feel like it's good to remember there's no wrong answer. Like if you don't like something, just don't like it. It's okay. Like I am not a big Zinfandel person. I used to be, but I've sort of grown out of it. And I feel like wine, you go through phases.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the one more, okay? And I will let you go right after. I cannot let you go before we talk about Pinot Noir. Every year. Oops, sorry, Mira, what you're saying?
No, you're right. You're right.
Oh yeah, I can't end that.
A little bit when I stepped out, but okay, yeah.
No. So I don't know if you know, Stacy, but every year we do some things called the Pan Canadian Masterclass. We have like 150 Canadian wine lovers from all over the country who gather at one spot, and I do a 14 to 16 different wines from coast to coast, starting from Nova Scotia, and we do different kind of theme, but we taste wine from all over the country. Last year, We hosted it at Esther Creek here in the Okanagan, and we had Hunsworth, one of your colleague, and we had Hunsworth Pinot Noir, and it was one of the rock star of the entire tasting, and that's why like really told me like I told myself I really need to dig deeper into the island Pinot Noir, and I'm talking to other people, and I'm tasting more, and I'm like, you know what, this grape varietal is very special on that terroir, and when Mike poured that in my glass at the guest house, I was like, holy shit. Okay, now this is really answering my question about terroir, about the potential of Pinot Noir on Vancouver Island. Tell me a little bit how you approach the heartbreak grape in your winemaking approach and strategy.
You call it heartbreak grape, and it can be fickle, but overall it's really interesting. There's nothing like sticking your nose in a glass and being like, holy shit, this is Pinot Noir, and just knowing it based on the smell, right? It's like early in your wine drinking career, being able to identify anything. You're like, whoa, this is Pinot Noir. It like screams Pinot Noir. Pinot Noirs from the island, I gather, a little bit more savory, a little bit more black and red teas, depending on the vintage. Very delicate aromas, lots of cherry, dark cherry, red cherry, cranberry in some cases. Riper years are more of like a crushed strawberry, but no lack of berries, but also this sort of savory intensity on the palate that evokes to me like sort of the sensation of tea more than it does wine.
Yeah, and the 22 was a little, but to my opinion, showed up a little crunchy red fruit, but so well layered. And yes, that little hint of earthiness, that tea, black tea representation as well, but definitely the red cherry, the little bit of crab apple to keep that stingy acidity who lifts everything up. That's another 92 point in my book. That got silver medal at the recent Wine-A-Line National Award like a couple weeks ago. This is Vancouver Island in a nutshell. What I noted in my tasting notes, I got a little bit of Oregon into that. With the red fruit, brings me a little bit to Oregon, but I like to say that's more and more we can define it as Vancouver Island style. Yes, that's Burgundy style, that's New Zealand style, that's Oregon style, California. More and more we can start defining Vancouver Island, Cowichan Valley style in terms of Pinot Noir. That's how well established we are getting at this point.
Totally. And the Pinot Noirs here, like you're not going to get like a Rockfall Cabernet or a screaming, Cabernet from California. Your mouth isn't going to lose all of its saliva. It's very easy to drink. It's very light-bodied, and it's very friendly. So if you are not a big red wine drinker but are thinking about it, start with a Cowichan Valley Pinot Noir. It's not that they're free of structure. It's just it's not an assault on your mouth, and it's quite enjoyable.
And there's that hint of minerality that I found in the Reserve Pinot Gris, that I found in the rosé, that I got into the traditional method. There's that little stony minerality, maybe not stony, let's say like more volcanic, and that's little tartness on the backhand who clamps everything down, and and especially with the Pinot Noir that lift the tannins up. I love that.
It's easy, to drink by itself. You don't, it doesn't require food, which sometimes red wines can require food to make them enjoyable. But yeah, I think that you nailed it with that minerality being, sort of the backbone of a lot of the wines from the Cowichan Valley. And specifically, I've identified it in our old vines at the estate here, in the Cigarebe, in the Bacchus, in the Gris. It just is... it's becoming like the quintessential, hey, this is a good direction that we're going in. When it's
Vancouver Island. There you go, man. Like that. I found that the salinity of Nova Scotia, like the Gaspereau Valley. Every time I drink a sparkling from there, like it's so classic from Benjamin Bridge, from Wolfville. Like there's that classic salinity who stands out. When I go on the other side, it's more of that little volcanic minerality, that stony minerality who jumped out on the larger scale of the portfolio. To me, that's terroir. That's where a region are bringing his own terroir to the map, right?
Well, and just the concept of minerality is pretty controversial, but when you taste these wines, you can't deny that it's like this slate. It's not chalky, it's not talky, it's slate and just, I don't know, minerally.
I know, and when people say, "Oh, you can't call minerality," I always in mind like, "Fuck off!"
Yeah,
if I want, there's something that I can't precisely describe, but I know to me it feels like mineral in my mouth. So don't tell me that I can do that.
Do whatever you want. That's the great part about the wine.
That's it, right? That's it. Stacey, I mean, like, what a great conversation. There's so much more that we can talk. I mean, my previous background as an international wine consultant. I mean, I work with your wines and the wines of your who you work with from Verité and Stone Street and Hartford Court and like there's so many wines that I was in contact with for many years. You and me can talk for many more hours, but we'll connect very soon, and I bet that you and your team are going to box all of the order at the end of the week, and there's going to be a golden ticket who's going to be in one of the box.
Awesome.
And that happy winner will spend three nights at the winery, and I'm sure that you'll spend some times and give them a very special tasting.
Well, the snozberries will taste like snozberries. So whoever the lucky golden ticket winner is, looking forward to having them on site here and showing them all of the cool stuff that we have.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
See you,
so
Grouse
great to
Club.
meet you. We'll see you again, hopefully.
Awesome. Yes, please. Let me know when you taste that Bacchus.
Yes, I need to. I need to.
Soon.
I'll do something. I will have my friend Rob to send you one of his Bacchus. I want you guys to exchange a bottle of Bacchus.
I love a trade.
That would be fun.
There you go. You have a good one.
You too.
Have a great
Bye.
night. Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
There you go.
I love how she calls that. So with the goal. So we were just on with Stacey Horniman at Blue Grouse, Cowichan Valley, Vancouver Island, and we were talking about the golden tickets. So this is a fun idea we hatched while at the winery, staying at their guest house. So they used to rent out this guest house. It used to be like where their tasting room was for a long time. It used to be the owner's house, and the tasting room was downstairs. And then they converted the tasting room into a luxury guest suite and created a new tasting room on the property. And now the owners moved out, so they have two guest suites. But we stayed there. We stayed in the entire house. What, 2 months ago?
2 months ago, yeah.
Just share some pictures. And it was freaking glorious. It was just glorious, wasn't it?
I mean, Mira, when I close my eyes, and I always try it often when I'm in oh my God, there's such a big rainbow behind me. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's going on soon here, you guys, with lightning and thunder. And where's the rainbow?
Can you see the rainbow right now on my screen?
I can't see it from upstairs. I don't see it on your screen.
No?
You're imagining rainbows.
Oh my! Because I'm facing the window. The living.
I'm making your screen bigger. Here.
Okay, just one sec. Let's see if I can.
No,
anyway,
it's not showing up to the camera.
That's funny because I'm facing.
The rainbow there?
I'm facing the living room window, and I can see it through the reflection through the window. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah, there's just
amazing. I
this
just can
year.
see it through the window here. It's awesome.
Wow.
So yeah, sorry. Let's get back to what you were showing here. By the way, how do you like the Sauvignon Blanc in your glass?
Oh, is this a Sauvignon Blanc? So you didn't tell me what's in my glass. I have what?
You have two wines.
Sauvignon
I know
Blanc.
it's a. We had last week. We had what 14 wines during Wine Wednesday. Something absolutely insane. We had coast to coast wine from Benjamin Bridge to and Blue Grouse side by side. So I went mellow this week. We had so much to talk about. There's two wines. There's a brand new producer from Ontario. It's called. I don't want to butcher it. It's Watchful Eyes. So Watchful Eyes is a new producer on the bench, in the Beamsville bench, who produced Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Franc, Chardonnay, a great rosé as well that we tasted last Saturday. They sent us a box of samples so we can taste their stuff. There's two Cabernet Franc that I haven't tasted yet, but I really enjoyed that Sauv Blanc, and the rosé was fantastic. So Watchful Eyes is a small, tiny producer. I think like it's something like 1,000 cases, like really tiny. But super interesting.
And you always know it's a good sign if a new winery has like all the vineyard names and the vineyard block sometimes right on there, and they're the vineyards that we know and love in Niagara. There was what, like a Wismar Foxcroft maybe on one of them, or what did we see
I
on some of
don't know. Let me check. I haven't. This is from the Lincoln Lakeshore appellation.
Lincoln Lakeshore? Okay,
Sauvignon
still,
Blanc.
Leading Post is in Lincoln Lakeshore, our
Yep.
favorite winery of the year,
Yeah.
voted by members last year. So yeah,
Yep.
we're excited to try that winery out. So speaking of up and coming wineries that are just killing it with fabulous wines right out of the gate, Black Bank Hill, whom we featured a couple years ago in the club when they first opened. Black Bank Hill just got platinum for their Cab
Top
Franc
front.
and gold for their Pinot Noir.
Yep. And
And
I
they were
think
like,
it
you
was
know what?
also gold for their Chardonnay, I believe, or silver for their Chardonnay. But yeah, they got a bunch of award. And do you want to announce it? I'll let you take the
Yeah.
stage.
So August 22nd, we'll be in Lincoln Lakeshore at Leaning Post doing our Winery of the Year celebration. It's a Friday evening, and it's going to be fabulous with food and wines. And we're going to send out an email tomorrow, I think, with the updated list of the wines that we're going to be tasting and some of the food and stuff like that. It's going to be great. I know a lot of you have already booked tickets for that, and you're planning to stay overnight in Niagara. So we figured if everyone's there, let's do something epic on the Saturday as well. And so we're going to do a 12 wine tasting that is Canada vis-a-vis Burgundy. So 3 top Canadian Chards, 3 top Canadian Pinots, vis-a-vis 3 and 3 from Burgundy. That's 12 wines with food, including Epoise, which is the stinky Burgundian cheese, and some other special canapé style pairings. So we're going to do that at Black Bank Hill because it is a new boutique winery. We want to find out more about them. You're going to taste those 12 wines in the Burgundy versus Canada tasting, but you'll also taste a whole bunch of the Black Bank Hill wines, which is also exciting, with the winemaker, with the founder, with Jonathan and Taylor. And it's a smaller winery. They have a beautiful air-conditioned cellar. It's going to be an intimate tasting, max 24 people. So yeah, a lot of fun. Hey, Carl?
I am absolutely stoked. I'm so excited for that project. I mean, we've talked about our trip to Burgundy, and it's kind of for me, everything is taking off right now. Like the Burgundy project, the trip, we're putting together the collector circle now. We have a bunch of ideas. We have another brain dump coming up tonight regarding that. But I can see, I've been talking for 5 years, Mira. You know it. You get sick of it. You said, just make it happen. I've been saying for so long, we have arrived. Our wines are at the world stage. We are ready to step on the world stage. Now, I think that it's time for me to put the comp in the same box. It's important to show people how it showed. Like, yes, I'm saying it. I'm scoring it. This is world class. It can stand up to any international wine. My goal now is to build some boxes with some of these top Canadian wines that we're going to select with our producer, and I'm going to go out and source some of equivalent international comp and put it in the box with our thought, with our scores, with our tasting notes, and say, hey, tell me what you think. We got here a Cab Sauv from the Similkameen Valley alongside the Napa Valley Mount Veeder. Boom, it's in the same box. I have that outstanding Chardonnay from Wismer Foxcroft, from Thomas Batchelder, and it's, there we go, from, I don't know, the Lafont family, Lafont Père et Fils from Montrachet. Boom. So that's where we're going with that. Our trip to Burgundy, the concept is to bring our top Chardonnay Pinot Noir with us and producers along too. It's not only the wine, it's also producer. We have some big news coming your way that we have one producer confirmed and two more in the talk right now. 2 phone calls have been scheduled.
Yeah, winemakers that could join us in Burgundy.
Yeah, and so now it's time to make these comps. So that tasting, that Burgundy showdown that we're going to do on August 23rd, it's the start of that. So there's, like Mira, 3 Chardonnay, 3 Pinot. Are from Canada.
There you go.
Right?
You were muted for a second.
Yeah, sorry. One of our boy is calling, so...
there you go. They don't know where we are.
I don't know. So that's on the 23rd. I'm talking.
Yes, Daryl, good point. So the Friday night after party, probably at the Airbnb that we will stay at. We're just finalizing that. Daryl, you emailed me today. I didn't have time to check those emails. But I saw it, and we will probably be staying with our family. I highly doubt any wine lovers, any members will want to stay with us and our 3 kids and my in-laws. But probably the wine get together will probably be there. We'll see, because it might be a little too far from Leaning Post. We might have to do something else, but that's the idea.
That's the idea. Yeah, that's the thing. Traveling in the summer, the kids have to follow at some point. And the kids are coming with us. My parents are coming to take care of the kids, take them on Clifton Hills and Niagara Falls, and all of that during the 2 events. But Mira, I think you are bang on with the after party on the Friday night after Leaning Post. But you know what? As much as I believe that there's going to be an after party, I mean, we all know Ilya and Nadia Sanchuk.
I was going to say, I think the after party might just be at the party, because that is also their house, and we all know them. Yeah, so.
And I got an email this week about what they are planning to serve there. And I'll tell you one thing. You better book your ticket. Don't miss that. Something like the first ever Sanchuk Pinot Noir. Things like some of the old vintage of Lowry Pinot Noir from the St. David's Bench.
And like old school vineyard in Niagara. It would be so fascinating.
Some of their older rosés. So Nadia is absolutely on fire right now. She's sending me stuff. I'm like, whoa, ho, ho. So we are going to taste some pretty epic wine at Leaning Post. So yeah, it might be an after party, but I'm telling you, the party itself is going to be something really special. So yeah, that's on the 22nd. We're gonna have it. That's Memphis Barbecue. Will cater the night. Some of Leaning Post wine club members are going to be present as well, along with Carl's Wine Club members. We're going to taste wines from concrete, from tank, from barrels. There's going to be vineyard wine. It's going to be awesome and epic, and like it's always it's always like when we spend time with Elia and Nadia, there's always some crazy shit happen. Always, always.
In the sense that, we break out in song, or there's wines that come out of the cellar that you didn't know existed anymore, and things like that. So it's really exciting. So glad that they're hosting us. And then on the Saturday, we've got this epic tasting with pairings. I've convinced Carl to do some pairings because that is actually something he's a genius at, but has stayed away from because he's like, it's all about the wine. But at the same time, experimenting with the wine and pairings is pretty fun too. So we'll do a little bit of that.
It's a little bit of a start of our Burgundy experience, which is going to be taking place on June 4th to the 11th, I believe, 2026, where 24 members, 12 couples are coming with us, and a few winemakers, definitely one from British Columbia who has already confirmed, and I'm working with 2 from Ontario that we're having a phone call in the next few days. So buckle your seatbelt. It should be incredible.
Absolutely. So, okay, real quick, because we got to go. We got to go out for dinner. There's a monsoon here in the Okanagan. And yeah, we got to go eat in the monsoon. We're going to have a picnic. I don't think that's happening tonight. But I wanted to show you guys. So with the golden ticket with Blue Grouse. So if you order by Monday at midnight from Blue Grouse through Carl's Wine Club, you're going to be able to not only access great shipping rates or free shipping if you're a VIP and unlimited member, but someone who orders is going to get a golden ticket in their boxes. So you'll be extra excited to open up your box to see if there's a golden ticket in there. I had this vision of like, that kid in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, when they found out about the golden ticket, they bought like all the chocolates in town and they were like ripping each one open. Well, it's kind of like that. You're gonna get all these boxes show up at your house with one, and you're gonna rip them open and be like, is there a golden ticket in here?
You know what my vision, Mira? I am envisioning the Carl's Wine Club VIP Facebook page being flooded of videos of people opening their box. Right? I want to see everyone opening their box, recorded and put on Carl's Wine Club VIP page. I want to see them all seeing that, oh no, or until we see the one who freaking find the golden ticket. So yeah, I want to see that.
That's a great idea. That reminds me. Yeah. I got another surprise for you guys. So that's awesome. And if you do get the golden ticket, this is the thing, this beautiful guest house that we're talking about that just blew us away, this luxury guest house right in the vines, in the vineyard on the estate. You can't rent it anymore, right? Yep. So it is now only available like if you win it, basically, or if you get it at an auction, or if you're Carl and Mira, they let us stay there. But that was about it.
Or if you're a wine club member at Blue Grouse and you request some,
yeah. But this is the kind of view you can expect. Cowichan Valley, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Look at these vines. These are the old school original vines. Like this, we're talking like 35 plus year vines. And then you just drive there and do quiet and gorgeous it is in the sunsets. Oh my gosh, right? So I'll show you Stacy and Jeff in a second. But once we got there, I mean, this is kind of views you get out the window, and there was a nice bottle of sparkling wine there for us, a Charme de Lille. We had quite a tasting. Yeah, it's a beautiful house. It was designed by the same architects that did the new winery, and they kind of remodeled the whole guest house as well. And it's just gorgeous. The beds are super plush. big king size beds with super plush bedding. They give you bathrobes and slippers, and then there's these huge en suites. So there's 2 king size
It
bedrooms,
feels like if you're at the JW Marriott in the Vineyard.
very much like that. Yeah, it
That
does.
was my feel. The bathrooms are so spectacular. The amenities are just beyond world class. You feel like you're at the St. Regis. So that's a literally in the Vineyard. And I'm not joking. We had a full plan of touring the Cowichan Valley. We did not leave the property. We just did not leave the property because that was so comfortable. It's just so amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, and Daryl has a great question. Is it only applicable if you order the discovery pack, like the pre-selected case? And it's no, it's just any order from Blue Grouse this week. Shipping off the island is pricier than probably anywhere else in Canada,
Yes.
other than like maybe
Yes.
New
Mira, you're bringing a
Hampshire or
fantastic point.
something. So obviously, if you're going to ship, see if you can combine your order to, if you're VIP Unlimited, get the free shipping for 6 or more bottles, or just combine it so you get enough bottles that the shipping spread out amongst the bottles doesn't up the price of it too much. But it's
That's
still
the
way
thing.
less
That's the
than it
thing. To get
usually.
the wine out of the island is that it's crazy expensive. So we could
Has to
there
go
was
on a ferry or an airplane, so it's can't be driven off the island, except on a ferry or an airplane. So anyway, that's it. But it's a great week to order because we do have very reduced shipping rates compared to the usual.
oh yeah,
And if you're
it's half
VIP
price as
Unlimited,
usual.
it's free for 6 or more if you're VIP Unlimited, right? So, highly recommend trying it out. It's one of those things that's great at a blind tasting, at a party. It's just so rare to have a wine from Vancouver Island, and these are really well made. Really
There's
nice examples.
392 points, Mira. 392 points, 191 plus. I mean, these wines are high quality wine. I'm telling you, the Champ de Lille sparkling Charmat Gamay Noir blew my socks off. The rosé is one of the best rosé of the vintage. The reserve Pinot Gris, God sake, yes, it's a little more expensive, but it's like a Chardonnay, like with like 30 years old vines. And I mean, the Pinot Noir, it's time to really start discovering and talking Vancouver Island terroir in terms of Pinot Noir. It's the start of something, just won a big award at the Wine Line. And yeah, it's worth starting following these type of winery. They are doing an incredible job. They have a world-class winemaker, and there's the golden ticket. So
Opportunity. It's gonna be great. Hey, if you stayed on the show this long, I want to show you real quick lobsters because it's a good thing to see lobsters, right? Uh, So Stacy and Jeff, they stopped by on their way back from Alaska. We had a fabulous pre-birthday thing with the Charme de Lille sparkling wines from Blue Grouse. They were lovely with the charcuterie board we had. That's us at our patio. And then we went to the De Silva kitchen. Oh my gosh, Chef Abul at the Silva on the Naramata bench. This is outstanding. Everything he brought out. Whenever I go there, I mean, you look at the menu, they got things like veal tongue on the menu and I don't know what else that I would never normally order. So I just say, hey, chef, surprise us. It's called the chef's choice. He just brings stuff out. And look at the stuff he brought out. Oh my gosh, these prawns with the fresh bread. Oh wow. And the fumet blanc. They had some really nice cocktails for us. Even the freaking broccoli, Carl, was world class. It really was. So there you have it. There we were at De Silva. Little
that was
dessert.
the start of Mira's birthday bash.
That was the start, but here comes the lobster, okay? Here comes the lobster, fresh from Nova Scotia. A very Canadian lobster, I should say. And there's one of the poor little guys getting massacred by our son. And then we had rosé and Chardonnay with it. There's Twyla de Silva and Karen from Black Market. And we had some lovely charcuterie. Chef Derek Fraser, who used to be at Elma here in the Okanagan, used to be at some really nice restaurants in Vancouver. He's now in our neighborhood in Summerland. He came by and made all the food with our son Josh. And so there's like what was that? A burrata sort of appy. It was really good.
Yeah, this one was local peach and burrata, Okanagan burrata cheese.
Yeah, it
Um,
was good.
so yeah,
And
it
then
was me
this is a
because Chef asked me what's Mira's favorite food. So that was burrata salad. So he made a deconstructed type of burrata salad, all local. One like 5 kilo. Everything was from 5 kilometers away from our house. From the peaches, the burrata cheese, the herbs from his garden, and the tomatoes was all heirloom tomatoes from Trout Creek here in our
okay.
neighborhood. I mean, absolutely
You know,
incredible.
you know what he did to the tomatoes, you guys? This is a culinary trick that I will now use. He's cut them in slabs and put them at a very low temperature in the oven, and that drew out the flavors and then cooled them down again. And so when you had them on the little crispies, the flavors of those tomatoes were so rich. It was really good.
Yeah.
There's the what salmon
Tuna,
tartare? Tuna.
yeah, tuna tartare, but that was a tuna tostada.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a little Mexican chip,
Yeah. These
homemade,
carrots were
and
out of this world. These carrots were made on a charcoal grill. There's chef cooking up a storm. And yeah, it was just fabulous. So if you guys were there for that, thank you for coming. And if not, now you get to see what we did. It was pretty fabulous. Look at all these Canadian Chardonnays. Lots of Chardonnays. That's more of that. Oh, he did this cream of corn with the stock from the lobsters.
and
Ooh,
cream of corn with chunk of lobster in the corn.
in it. Oh my God, it was unreal. Those are smoked potatoes. I've never had smoked potatoes
Yeah,
before.
on the charcoal smoker, charcoal smoker is absolutely off the
Oh,
chart.
yeah, more of that burrata salad with the creamed corn. Really good stuff. So my parents were there. My dad's a famous Romanian folk singer, so he sang. It was fabulous. More food, and look,
So much fun.
there's the lobsters, you guys. And he didn't bring them out like whole lobster, but that was actually really good because he cracked them all for us. It was like way easier to handle them. Um, and so everybody got a big tail and some claws, and it was fabulous. It was just fabulous. And then this cloud and this rainbow, you can't see the rainbow so well, but this cloud and this rainbow appeared while they were singing happy birthday. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was
It's like
incredibly wild.
super bright cloud. Everyone's like, what is that? See the skies. They were just unreal. So yeah, it was a fabulous birthday, you guys. I'm very thrilled. Thank you so much. Everyone sent their wishes. I'm so grateful. I think we'll wrap it up real quick here, Carl, to say Blue Grouse is on until Monday night. Here you can see right on our site all the kinds of things you can get. It's I think the only red wine in this feature is the Pinot Noir, and it's
Yeah,
quite a
three sparkling, the Pinot Gris, a Bacchus, a Pinot Gris Reserve, a traditional method which is made with Ortega Miller Turgau, and Bacchus. So outstanding, 90 plus points, traditional method, the two Charme de Lille Charmat method, the rose, it's worth stocking up on that rosé. And obviously, if you're a Pinot Noir lover, Pinot Noir is a standout. We just won big at the wine line as well. So yeah,
favorite Pinot Gris. And yeah, so you can get the golden ticket and stand at the winery like we did. But you can also you'll still win because you can get these fabulous wines that are pretty hard to get otherwise.
oh
And
yeah,
last
I mean
thing,
these wines are like not widely available.
yeah, August 22nd, we're at Leading Post for the Winery of the Year celebration. You're invited. August 23rd, Burgundy versus Canada tasting with 12 Chards and Pinots from across the country and from Burgundy at Black Bank Hills. So this just gives you a little idea of what this Black Bank Hill is all about. It's a beautiful new boutique winery. We'll be right in that building, most likely here with the barrels, with Taylor and Jonathan, the founders. And I just
Hey,
can't
I might have a very, very popular and very how do you get it? Like a co-MC that I'm gonna have an answer tomorrow if he's coming and co-MCing, but no one's like him. No producer in Canada knows Burgundy like him. So just a hint. He's going to confirm to me tomorrow if he's going to be my co-MC, but I'm going to have a very famous co-MC with me for that event.
Yeah, can't wait. Well,
We're
thank you.
definitely going to have one of his wine in the lineup, definitely. So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're working on all these fabulous people because we want all the fabulous people to go to Burgundy too, or at least join us at some of our events, right? So Daryl got a Pinot and the Rosé. Tabernacle no Chardonnay. I know. It's yeah, I mean, you would think that if they do a lot of Pinot, they'll eventually really get into the Chardonnays, right? On Vancouver Island, Carl?
They will. They just didn't have enough. And I mean, I wanted to focus on what I tasted there. And that's what stand out to me. And I really wanted to focus on that. So Daryl, there's going to be Chardonnay, other Chardonnay opportunity for you very, very soon. I promise. Okay, my kids are acting out here.
Time for dinner. Time to go for.
I'm starving anyway. So, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher, thank you for another great show. We'll talk to you next time.